Hey.
All right. Hey, oh, hey. And we're back. Just like that.
That was almost in sync.
It was pretty good. Episode 2. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's
All
go.
right. We are going to jump into the 2024 movie, The Gorge. Well, not jump in. We're going to theoretically just talk about it. I don't want to jump in.
We don't want to jump into the
I don't
gorge.
want to jump in the gorge.
We don't want to be in this gorge.
No, this gorge is kind of scary. Overall, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie.
I really liked the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a great premise. Really great actors. There was a lot of good things to say. Let's describe the movie first, then we'll jump into what was good.
Give us a summary.
Okay, all right. The Gorge is, like I said, is a 2024 romantic action thriller. You can find it on Apple TV.
Yep.
I believe. It follows Levi, played by Miles Teller. I love this guy.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
He's
Whiplash. Great. He was in Top Gun Maverick. Super great guy. And Draza, the character of Draza, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. She's also fantastic. She was wonderful in Queen's Gambit.
Stellar.
Amazing. These two elite assassins are deeply troubled.
They are.
Very,
Him more than her.
Yeah, he's waking up in the cold sweat and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's kind of repressed everything.
Right.
She had more of a support system in her dad.
In her dad.
So he was able to kind of carry some of the emotional load that she had to bear with this, killing people job.
With the killing people job, yeah.
Yeah.
And so these two are stationed on the opposite sides of this mysterious gorge, and they're working for a shadowy underground organization. Now, we assume initially that their job is to maintain the balance between these two opposing forces, right? To keep the other side in check. However, we find out very quickly the true nature of their assignment is that they are not guarding against each other. They're guarding against what's inside the gorge from escaping. And it's like these quote hollow men. These weird,
very
disgusting,
creepy
creatures. Right.
Yeah.
Now, essentially, the gorge is the gates to hell, and they're standing guard at the gate. Right.
Yep.
Is what's been told to them.
Yeah.
Now, Levi finds a way to cross the gorge. All right. So after some time has passed, he's looking over at the gorge and like, "Hey, girl," right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah. They're not supposed to communicate.
They're not. They've been told,
but against orders,
yeah,
they found a way.
Levi did find a way.
They found a way, and so he creates this,
a makeshift
projectile,
hook. Right?
Yeah.
he shoots it across
gets himself across the score.
That's right, and he brings her flowers. Of course, he does. Yeah. It's so romantic. So he goes across the gorge, and then on the way back, there was an accident on his side. There was an explosion. The line breaks, and he goes plunging into the gorge. Yeah. And draws out immediately. She
straps on her
her weapons and all her stuff. She
and
jumps
her parachute and jumps
in after him. Then what they find inside the gorge is a series of cover-ups from this top secret organization that's horrific and action-packed. A lot of jump scares, and I know you had a big jump scare, which was
I did
hilarious.
I saw it coming, but it still got me.
Still got you.
Yeah.
Now, once they escape the gorge, we find out. Well, inside the gorge, we find out that it's basically a giant lab to try to genetically enhance soldiers. And when they escape the gorge, Levi and Draza decide to sacrifice everything to ensure the evil inside the gorge never escapes despite the secret organization's wishes.
Right. They take it all down.
Right. They take it all down. So that's the good. That's the overall summary. The good that I found in this film is, of course,
there's a lot of good.
I think there's a ton of good.
A lot of good in this movie.
And like I said, so we're going to try to fix some things.
Yes. It was great, but it could have been next level.
I feel like it could have been definitely next level.
And so we're going to take it there.
We're going to try to take it there. We will do our best. We think the actors and acting was wonderful. I think they did a great job.
It was great.
Because it's mostly these two.
Yeah,
throughout the whole thing.
They're pretty much
Sigourney Weaver's in there, and she's
a smaller role, but she did a great job with her
pro.
role.
She is amazing.
Yeah, she nailed it.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty much, and these are our main characters.
Yeah. And the look of the film is also really beautiful. I mean, especially truthfully, when you get in the gorge, holy cow.
Yeah.
It's so...
I think we even mentioned that when we were watching it, oh man, the set designers must have had great time.
Yeah, super fun.
With
Just
this.
like, ooh, let's do this.
I mean, it was.
There's a lot of gory, weird, gross stuff.
But it was really creative and
yes.
It's super intriguing.
Super intriguing. The base premise for this film is also fantastic. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Premise.
It's original.
The concept of it is just really solid. That they're guarding this gorge,
this
and like
gorge
we're
with with monsters.
That they're
basically
keeping
in it.
all of us safe. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that's cool. I like
It's a good
that.
idea.
And they also do something that I do like. I think that maybe it wasn't necessarily super correct, but we'll get to that. They do the concept of show the gun, use the gun, which
Yes.
I've talked about that in the first episode. The concept is when you show something very specific, later on you need to come back to that.
You have to refer back to it.
You refer back to it. They made it real specific. So in this one, there was a picture of Bradford Shaw, which was the first guy that was at this base. That
he was the first guardian of this gorge.
Yeah, the side that Levi was on, and then later he shows back up, and I'm like, oh, cool. They did a cool back to that.
They brought him back.
I think it was kind of odd how they
didn't love how they brought him back, but they did bring him back.
They did bring it, but I thought that was thank you. At least they did that part. They tried to. And I also, because of Queen's Gambit, they're playing chess at one point, and she does this chess move, and she's like, "Oh, there's the queen," and I was like,
Yeah.
And I don't mind little things like
Sure.
that. I don't mind that. I think that was kind of fun.
Just a little nod.
It was a little nod.
A little
I
nod
think,
to her other role,
roles,
and
yeah.
I appreciate that.
I thought that was
no
fun.
problem with that.
No problem. So let's get to the issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, in most of the issues, there's issues with either character or tone or plot lines. Let's start off with I feel tone, and I'm going to call it tonal whiplash.
Wow.
Is what I'm going to call it.
Wow.
The film shifts rapidly between this romantic thing and then brutal action and then melodrama almost. It kind of was like, hey, we're Mr. and Mrs. Smith meets the Stranger Things. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
Well, it was like two different movies.
It was
the first half of the movie.
Two different movies.
The first half of the movie is this love story.
Right.
And it's a great love story. It's an interesting love story. There's definitely things that I would have changed about the love story.
And we'll get to that part. Agreed.
But it was really interesting, intriguing. Like these two characters that are, very far away from each other, find a way to communicate.
Right.
And end up falling in love.
Right.
Without ever even speaking to each other.
Right.
So,
which is something that, again, we'll get to. I think that's an issue.
We'll get to. But then when we get in the gorge, it's like an entirely different movie.
Right.
It's like suddenly we're thrown into a completely different, it's just like a different tone.
I stepped into a different film.
Different, even their relationship.
Yeah, it didn't even
takes
matter.
on a different. Yeah. It's like they're just in survival mode at that point.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're in love doesn't even really matter once they're in the gorge.
Agreed. And that's a problem. I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think we've got some fixes for that. Okay, so for this tonal whiplash, I say lean into the Stranger Things vibe. Lean into it. That's what we're like. I'm here for that. Like, I like the romance, but I think we could develop the romance through the Stranger Things tone. Okay. Yeah. I think we want to question kind of what's going on in the gorge there a lot more and get to it quicker. Let the relationships build from how are we going to get through this together, right?
Yeah.
So here's the fix. Here's kind of a big one. I propose that he falls into the gorge much earlier. And then when they're in the gorge, they're falling in love with each other as they're going through this how to survive thing, Then it's kind of the John Wick meets Romeo and Juliet inside the gorge, right?
Right.
And then as they're trying to survive, they both are falling in love with each other. You've set the tone for it. You set the stage for it.
Yeah.
And then you play that out in this really difficult scenario.
And I am okay, I'm kind of a sucker for a good romance.
Right. Sure.
A good action romance, even better.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I just feel like falling in love through this shared experience of fighting their way through the gorge would have been a much better option than having them fall in love before they ever get into the gorge. Right. Because once they're in there, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, and the romance
all
was
they
gone.
all they were doing was just fighting for survival.
Right.
So to me, they definitely needed to make a connection. Right. Obviously, they needed to be intrigued by each other. Maybe even find a way to communicate better with each other.
Yeah.
But they also needed to already be asking questions. There were no questions really asked or brought up. And so by the time they go in the gorge and they start finding these answers, it's just, it's like we're in a new plot.
We're in a new plot.
We're in a totally new story.
Right. And it didn't, to me, again, that's why it felt like two films.
Yeah.
Right. So that leads directly into this underdeveloped relationship of the characters, right? That's the next point. We're told that Levi and Druz are in love. I never really felt that they were really, I thought like, okay, they're kind of, okay, they like each other, but like they've been alone for a year.
Yeah.
They're like, are you in love or is it
you
something else? Right.
Amorous.
I mean, right. So the romance kind of is, they've hinged this whole romance on music montages. And to me, I don't love that. I don't love that. So the fixes are, I've got kind of two of them. One of we've already kind of hit here. They've got to find a better way to communicate with each other. They're using these whiteboards.
Yeah, she's got like a notepad.
And he's got a little whiteboard.
Which her notepad never runs out of paper.
Okay.
It's amazing. She must have multiple.
We just assume they're well stocked. The Russian side has well stocked paper.
Yeah, that's another thing we noticed. In the movie, the Russian side was just much better stocked.
They were so much better
compound.
Stocked. Yeah. Right. So they're talking with the notes, which I don't hate, because at the beginning it's kind of like, it's almost like sweet,
it's
right?
like middle school, like, passing notes.
Do you like me? Check the box.
Yeah.
I'll check.
No, it's
yes.
cute.
It's cute at the beginning.
I like that that's their first point of contact.
And then I like it would be if the end contact was the same thing. They book in the notes. That's cute because they kind of do a note thing at the end, which again we'll get to.
Oh boy, will we get to that?
Oh boy, the ending. But I like it if you bookend it. But like, here's the thing: they've got all this stuff. And nobody's got a walkie-talkie. Come on.
Well, they even have a radio.
I know.
In their because they have to do radio check-ins.
Right.
But they never figure out a channel that they can both get on and talk to each other.
Like, try the next one on my whiteboard.
Yeah.
Switch it to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are. They've got to find a way to, like, talk to each other. And then you do it through these sweet little conversations that they're having. That would be so cool.
And so they start talking to each other, and then maybe they realize they have the same questions about the situation.
And then he's like, okay, now.
Hey, I found something on my side that doesn't make sense. Oh, well, I found something on my side that says this. And so instead of it being two different movies, we're already asking questions about what's going on as they get to know each other.
Right, and they're getting to know each other, and then he decides, hey, my birthday's coming up, right? She says, he decides, I'm going to go over there and surprise her for her birthday. I'm going to go over there. And
her birthday was earlier. But he does decide he's going to go over there. She's had a rough day.
I would say birthday would be cool. Or
you're saying as a fix.
As a fix.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes over for her birthday. That would be really cool.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it could be I'm having a sad day too. That's cool. Whatever it is.
Whatever drives him
he
to
decides
make it
to go
across.
over there, and I think he doesn't make it. I think on the trip over, he doesn't make it. Because the trip back, I'm like, oh, come on, man. If he goes on the trip over and she's like, no, and she's jumping in, that would be cool. So she jumps in the gorge. Okay, so then the second really fix is the thing we've kind of already mentioned. They are able to get in the gorge way faster and fall in love after they fall in, right?
Right.
After they've talked to each other, after they've, really pulled each other's hearts to each other. They're kind of like, this is a person I really want to.
The connection's been made.
Yes.
They feel the chemistry, but the relationship hasn't been developed and established the way
to love.
Right. The way it is now, it's like, I mean, they've already they've already gone as far as they can go. They've established it, and he's on his way back. But if he falls in before he ever even gets over there,
right,
and she comes in after him, then it's like this idea that she would follow him without really knowing him.
Right. That makes her character so much more interesting.
It makes,
really
it's
strong,
so compelling.
Right.
And it draws him to her even more.
Right.
The fact that she would come after him.
That gets us in the gorge way faster into this mystery sci-fi world.
Yes.
Right.
And once we're in the gorge, as the movie is now, it's just like one escape from death after another.
Yeah.
If you get in there quicker,
then
you're able to have more moments
to develop the connection between each other.
Maybe we're at a place where we're not fighting for our lives at this moment, and then they're able to make those connections and even talk about some of the emotional
drama
baggage that they carry around. Instead of doing all of that at the beginning of the movie, you're integrating it into their fight for survival.
So here's Miss Chances. Here's some Miss Chances. First of all, I kept watching this thing and going, man, that wall is so scalable.
Right? Like
it's just straight up pretty much.
These like skeletal, weak hollow men.
They're just like zoop, zoop, zoop. I mean, I'm like, wow.
They're managing it, no problem.
No problem. I'm thinking, look, I mean, even I still think that they could do something, but the thing is to question, like the whole time I'm going, why didn't the governments on both sides put like more of a horizontal lip at the top? Something. And that they still were able to overcome it, and still that's like really creepy seeing something going horizontal. But the thing is, I'm still going, why didn't they try? I mean, they put like a walkway there that's like easily
and like little mines that are set to explode.
Yeah,
but there's like a walkway.
I know. I'm
and I mean, it's got barbed wire on it, but it just feels like
they didn't try hard enough. I just kept going.
And it's a huge gorge, and you've got these watchtowers just like in the middle of it.
In the middle,
and the rest of the gorge is manned by
like the
these
laser sight
weapons.
Right. Anyway, I think the fix would be just you could put something there to show that the audience
that they
hey,
tried. We tried to keep them from crawling out.
yeah. But that's it. It's not a huge one, but I just aesthetically I would have liked something there. Why are the Hollow Men trying to get out in the first place?
Right.
And the answer? Oh, we just hungry. Like what? What? We just hungry? Yeah. That they're emaciated. They must be really hungry. Yeah. To us, to them, we're food.
They make some excuse.
What? They're just hungry for you?
That they're hungry.
That's so...
That they need to eat.
That was so bad. Okay,
so if we just feed them, if we just,
throw some meat down the gorge, they'll be fine.
If we just fly over once a month with supplies, they'll be happy to stay in there.
Some grade A beef down at the bottom. They'd be like, yummy, thank you.
But they specifically made the excuse that they're crawling out because they're hungry.
They're just hungry. I was like, okay. Look, the fix is simple here. The fog needs to maybe that's in the gorge. We find out the cause of the fog is causing them pain in some way. They're trying to escape this thing that's causing them pain, and they're trying to escape. They got to get out. There's got to be a better reason than just we hungry, right? Need a snack, right? We ain't got no McDonald's down here. We gotta go. We gotta get up out of this.
Yes, they have to be trying to escape something.
They gotta try to escape something, and the easiest thing there would just be it's causing us pain. All right, my girl Draza. All right, here's my next one. She can straight up just tell when a scope is looking at her. Just every time.
My goodness.
She's just like, hey. And then she's like, later on, she's like, oh, hey, you're looking at me. And then later on, she's like, oh, hey. Like every time
he looks through the binoculars across the gorge, she somehow senses it. And she stops what she's doing. And she turns. Like she can't.
Every
She literally
time.
can't see him. That's how far apart they are.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You absolutely have to use
binoculars.
But she's like, I sense it.
It was a little cheesy.
It's cheesy. I think those kind of things are a little bit overused. Look, the simple fix is, look, Drazi uses a gun when she's trying to get Levi's attention. If you really need his attention, fire a gun. No one cares. No one's going to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, if you just happen to be looking, either just don't have him look or fire a gun.
Right. He could have looked at her without her
looking back and acknowledging.
Without showing us that she sensed it.
Right. Next one. There was a guy there at on Levi's side. I guess it's
his predecessor.
His predecessor. His name's JD. Okay.
Yeah.
And he is relieved by Levi at the beginning of the film. And when they get out, right? Whenever they are leaving this zone, and they're taking him out, like he's done his year duty.
He's done a year.
And he's going to leave.
His job's done.
He's all excited about it, and they're like, all right, we're going to check and make sure you are who you say you are. And he's like, yeah, it's me. And then they cut the line, and he falls to his death. Like,
no, they shoot him.
Oh, they shoot him. That's right. They shoot him, and they cut the line, and he falls to his death. Why would they do that? That makes no sense at all. Because his tour is over, and I understand, like, I get that they're trying to
protect this information.
Protect the information, and that they're like, no one's going to get out alive. No one's ever going to... And that's how we close the loop. I actually get that. But why not use it? For a they should have kicked him out into the gorge.
Yeah. So what happens is he has to hike out of this area and be picked up somewhere far away from the gorge.
Right.
And so they take him up in the helicopter, they shoot him, and then they just drop him into the forest.
Right.
We were like, why wouldn't they put him in the gorge?
Right, because here's the deal. All right. Literally, we found out later on that if you get killed, a Hollow Man gets shot and killed, like they're dead.
Yeah.
Like they're dead. So this company needs replacements.
Yeah.
Why not drop him into the gorge? Here's what that does. One, it goes, oh, they're restocking.
Yeah.
They got 2 people a year that they restock this gorge with. So for sure, you're going to have 2 more people down there. That's one. But specifically, when, Levi and Draza go into the gorge, they could see him partially changed, right?
Right, because all of the Hollow Men, we find out, are actually soldiers.
Right, people that have gone...
scientists that were down there that have now been changed.
Right, from this fog, from this gas. They could have shown JD, like, partially changed. And they're like, oh... And, like, here's I think, a fun idea. Later when they see him, right, he's partially changed, but, like... JD helps them escape something.
Yeah, maybe he hasn't changed. So maybe he's not as hungry.
Maybe he's not so hungry. He still had food in his belly area.
He's still full from breakfast.
Yeah, he's still full. He had a big burrito. He's good. But like, he's not super hungry yet. Or whatever, but he helps them maybe escape the last boss.
He still
or
has
something.
A semblance of humanity
left. You could help them, and what a heart tug moment that could have been to him be like
sacrifices himself.
Yeah, to like kind of burn it all down. He's like, go, I'll hold the door, or go, I'll drop the bomb. Go, I'll do the thing to like get you out.
Yeah,
and they're like, we won't. He's like, it's too late for me, right? What a beautiful moment that could have been.
Yeah.
For this really cool character.
JD should have been in the gorge, absolutely.
Absolutely been in the gorge. All right, next one. And we're almost done. We got just a couple more. We're almost there.
Yeah.
This was kind of a small one, but it's kind of annoying. They did this bit with, at the very beginning where Levi's flying in and they're like, oh, you're going to have to parachute in. And he's like, why? It's a no-fly zone.
It's a no-fly zone.
He parachutes in, and then he has to walk,
walk. Listen, hike, mountain climb.
Yes, with
basically.
His pack and all this, and he's checking his compass, the whole deal.
I mean,
the deal is though he finally gets his place, and they're like, okay, that's cool. But then later on, Sigourney Weaver flies in, no problem.
Yeah,
there's like a helipad.
She just lands right by the building.
I'm like, why even make that a thing? So look, the fix is this. Don't do that. You've wasted a bunch of minutes. In film, I think about minutes in a film is gold. It's golden. You've got an opportunity to tell a story, and you're going to waste it on him hiking. And look, jumping out of a plane is fine. It looks cool, I guess, for a minute. But look, Tom Cruise has done it a bunch. We don't need to keep seeing that.
I think they were just trying to show us, like, I don't know what kind of a Marine he was, and that he was resilient and capable. Maybe like that helped. They thought that was helping to establish his character, but
it wasted time.
It really didn't do anything to push the story forward. It made no sense. They could have helicoptered him in, set him down, and been
here you go,
dropped him off and left.
And then whenever they picked up JD as he's leaving, they throw him out of the copter in the gorge. Right?
Yeah.
Simple. Okay, so the next point is these two are in the gorge, right? They're in the gorge, and they've been attacked by a bunch of crazy stuff. Like there's a bunch of people on horseback, and they're dragging them through, and it's very scary. And then
every Hollow Man is out to kill them. By the way, every single one.
They've all been alerted. They're on high alert because
the trees are trying to kill them.
The spiders with skulls.
Spiders with human skulls are trying. Like
all trying to kill them.
Everything there is trying to kill them.
So they're like, oh, we need to get someplace safe. They're like, oh, we got to find cover. We got to get someplace where there's cover. And they find they're heading toward the wall.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, right over there is this big wall, and there's a door.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, there's someplace safe right there. So they open it up, and they find out, oh, this is someplace that was,
it's like a bunker.
It's like a bunker,
kind of, but it's almost like a lab.
Yeah,
it looks like a lab where people were working.
Right, where the scientists were at there, and they're like, oh, cool, we can get in the bunker, and they do. And then as soon as they do, they have no more brains. They just lose.
They lose their minds.
All their brain area, and they just like, okay, because they even said, oh, we should barricade this.
Yeah, she even says it, like, barricade?
But then they don't.
They don't
barricade
lock
it
the door.
at all.
They don't barricade the door. They do nothing.
Not only do they not barricade the door, she puts her backpack with all her ammo down right by the door.
And then they
walk away.
Leave it there.
Leave it there to go discover, what's in the cave. What's going on.
What's in this bunker.
What's over here. Yeah, and that is kind of silly, right? They should have barricaded the door, and they should have just kept the ammo. The fix here is lock the door. Yeah. Lock the door.
Lock the door.
Because it doesn't matter that they do this thing of like, oh, they stole the ammo.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
The Hollow Men come in, steal the ammo, and they just set the backpack outside as a trap for them.
And they say they're doing that because it's like, oh, they're strategic. We know they're strategic. It's not, they were military people. It's not that.
They've already shown us that they're capable of thought and strategy.
So don't have
having them set a trap felt super unnecessary. They could have set a trap a different way, and there wasn't another way out of the bunker, so they would have had to go back out that way anyway.
Yeah, it's silly.
It just was a silly trope to try to, I guess, get the point across.
Yeah, because they could just walk out and they get it ambushed. The end.
And
That's
they
the
get
fix.
ambushed.
That's the fix. They find out the truth. They get inside that little bunker area. They find out the truth of this whole thing via old film reel.
Yeah,
okay?
Like in a canister.
Yeah, that they had to set up just like you would in any creepy video game. It's silly, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, there just happened to be a canister of film.
They're like, oh, this is the answer.
Just sitting there.
You know how to hook that up, right? Of course I do.
There happened to be a projector. Which,
I'm on it.
Who in the world knows how to use an old projector?
That skill is a lost.
I guess they teach that in the Marines now.
they teach it in the Marines
because he knew
they go from firing and like sniper to film reel.
And then of course they watch this old film, and it's this scientist who's
telling how they all became
just lamenting about this experiment.
Yes.
Gone wrong.
Gone wrong. Look, the answer here is they've got to find it through paper or files on the computer, because they go to computer later.
Please find it a different way.
Don't go through a film thing. It's just the worst. Next, I think this is the biggest change. This one.
Okay.
It's exposition overload in Act 3.
Yes.
It is a third act dump of like, here's all the information. And that's why it's like, it's 2 movies.
Yeah.
Because they just dumped all this backstory and plot twists and all that. It doesn't... You can integrate this throughout the whole film, okay?
Yes, they should have been discovering these things slowly along the way.
That's right. You can't dump it like that. So here's the fix, okay? Levi and Draza, they need to discover a lot of that earlier on. Of course, they do our idea. They're in the gorge a lot earlier, and they're discovering these things. Because I don't believe all plot twists have to be at the very end when you go, whoa! I mean, it's not all M. Night Shyamalan. It doesn't have to be, that's a big plot twist. It can be slowly discovered, and you're like, oh. So look, lean into the magic sci-fi world, okay? Use the tremor earthquake that they talked about. Don't make it anything other than, look, yeah, it opens something up, man.
The earthquake opened up.
It opens something.
Another dimension, or
anything.
Gases were released from the earth
that we've never encountered, and it's created this world where the humans are being melded with plants and the bugs
and
it's
the
animals,
painful apparently,
and
which is why the Hollow Men want to get out.
That's right, because if you're doing that, like, okay, for example, let's just pretend at the beginning of the gorge that it started off as peaceful, something that East and West were working on, this kind of utopia type society, but then this earthquake exposes all of them to this stuff, and it starts to change them. Then the governments find out about it, and maybe at the beginning, the 2 sides were there to kill them and keep them in. But over time, and this is the key, time. Over time, this secret organization bought out this group, of this regime, of this politician, and bought it and slowly erased what it originally was. And now they're using it for research and all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it goes back to this corporation being the one doing all these evil things, right?
Yeah.
And you just lean in to that magic-y sci-fi mix, right? It's way more fun than like, oh, it was the missile juice that like causes them to do this. So it's not really that.
Yeah, like their explanation was that the earthquake caused the missiles to start leaking,
and that's what did it.
Which that's what did it.
Yeah, I guess. And then the end. I'm like, what, would that do that? It doesn't seem like that would do that, but apparently it would. I feel like they could just go full and just expect us, just let us believe.
The crazy gases. I would have believed that. The crazy gases came from under the earth when the volcano. I believe
that way more than it was a man-made missile that was just missile juice, and we're all...
Missile fog.
Yeah. That just, to me, didn't work. All right. The last bad guy. Now, we know that the last bad guy in the film is actually Bradford, okay? Is the first guy that was at the site, and he was like, hey,
somehow he gets down in the gorge.
He gets in the gorge, and
they never explain how or why, because apparently he was relieved by somebody.
Right. And then somehow he got down in the gorge.
Somehow he made his way down in the gorge.
But it doesn't really make sense that he is the last guy necessarily. He could have been the first guy they found.
Yeah.
That was on the horse, and they knock him out, and he was like, oh.
And they see that, his
he's Bradford.
name.
He was the first one. He could have been anyone, but why he would be the super bad guy at the very end doesn't quite make sense to me.
And what he does doesn't make sense.
He does. He captures Draza, right? Then he strings her up. And then waits for her to wake up.
No, wakes her up on purpose by like twisting the little twig that had stabbed her. He strings her up, wakes her up. We're to believe that they're starving.
Yeah, they're starving. That's why they want to get out in the first place.
That's why they're attacking people.
But he's going to wait.
But he takes time to build a fire.
Right.
String her up. And then wake her up.
And then be like,
and then try to kill her.
And then like taste the blood, like, that's yummy. I'm gonna really I like my Big
I like
Mac's,
my meat awake.
Scared Awake and scared is yummier for me. I'm like, wonk, wonk.
Yeah, it just like,
Come
why
on.
wouldn't he have eaten her immediately?
Right. So the fix would be, it doesn't have to be him in the first place, but this is basically somebody that JD, the guy, we talked about already, could have, stopped,
JD could have come in.
He could have come in and stopped this guy from killing her, or at least stalled enough time for Levi to get there. Right? There's a lot of things.
Or
that could
Levi
happen.
could have gotten there right away.
Right.
Before she got
and
strung
got beat
up.
down, and then JD comes in and knocks him over. Right? There's a lot of things that JD could have done in this spot.
Yeah.
Right. And then, JD's, he's mortally wounded maybe at that point, but then he can help him escape, and just way more dimension to that.
I mean, it's been months and months by
Right.
the time they get in the gorge. Of course, in our version, they would have been in the gorge earlier, but still long enough for JD to have already been infected.
Right.
And have changed, but he could have come in at this point.
Right.
It would have been
Way
nice
better,
to
way
have
stronger.
brought him back in as kind of a hero.
Right.
Instead of having this person that we see as a hero at the beginning turn out to be a bad guy.
Right.
For no reason.
Right.
There's really no reason to
Right.
make...
I mean, we get that the corporation
Bradford.
is bad. We get that. We've seen enough
Right, the
films.
enemy needs to be the corporation.
Of course, and that's I think that's basically clear. But like they could have discovered that throughout the film, and we already knew it. It's not like wait, they're bad. Brr. We already knew that they were bad. We get that. Okay, so let's hit the ending.
Okay. Wah, wah.
You're already in pain here. The ending. I was watching it. I just go, what? We're talking about
this is literally the worst part of the whole entire movie. Like I was like, they ruined it.
Yeah,
They ruined the whole movie with just this end scene.
Like I followed all the way through the end. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll deal with that. I'll deal with this. But then they do this ending, and it really was bad. And I don't mean because they at the very end of this thing they decide we're going to blow this thing up.
Great.
And they do. They blow up the gorge. That's great. I think
Love
that's
it.
fine.
No problem with
no
that.
problem with that at all. But then they have to stay in a cave and mark off 5 days.
Yeah, they quarantine.
So that they know that they didn't change. They know they're safe. And they're like, we're going to meet at this one place.
in France.
In like X amount of days.
Yep.
And then he's not there. And they do that whole thing of like, oh, we think he's dead. Because we didn't work hard enough to like really make us love these characters. Now we need to emotionally try to pull on your heartstrings to make you think that he's dead, and it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work at all because we know he's not dead.
Yeah, of
and
course
if
we
he
know.
had been dead, that would have been an even stupider ending. But she goes to the place where they're supposed to meet. Okay, she's found a letter that he stuffed into her jacket pocket.
Yeah.
And it's the poem that he's written her.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's like, if I don't make it,
Right.
read this at sunset.
Right.
So she waits all day. He doesn't show up. She reads the poem.
Right.
And then she leaves. Blackout.
And we're
And
like, okay.
then
She's waiting tables at some restaurant.
it like gets to this end scene where she's a waitress.
Because
in a restaurant.
we don't know
Because
why.
obviously you would go from assassin to waitress. That's a natural transition. And then she's waiting tables and she turns around and he's sitting at a table.
And he holds up a sign.
And he holds up a handwritten note.
sign. Yeah, like I love that rabbit pie. Like they go back to the thing. Look, I don't mind the whole. Okay, look, let's fix this. Okay, let's fix this. One, they quarantine. That's fine. She's waiting there. She thinks he's not going to show up, and she opens up the letter and she starts to read it, and then he's like behind her, going, "What's up, girl?" And he finishes reading the poem because he's memorized it. He knows it by heart. And she starts crying. And then her head comes up. She's looking straight across. She hasn't turned yet. He finishes the poem. Then she turns around and he's holding the sign. Do you want to go get some rabbit pie? Something.
Or a sign that says anything. It could
anything.
say,
I know. It doesn't have to be rabbit pie. It could be anything like.
If you're just that desperate to like circle back to the sign.
Yeah.
because they don't just circle back to the sign. She in the way they ended it, it's like every line is a throwback to a line that they've said before.
Right.
And it was just so, it's almost like they created this scene just so that they could circle back to these.
And you don't have to.
I don't know, jokes or quips or lines that they had earlier in the movie.
Well, and they do that.
It made no sense for
right.
them to meet back up in a restaurant where she was a waitress. What in the world?
They do those things because they didn't work hard enough in the relationship to build that, and they're like, oh, the audience will really appreciate it. No, they'll appreciate hard work when you put the work in to make them fall in love with each other through difficult circumstances and build real bonds. Not quippy little jokes and things at the end like, oh, I get it. How romantic. It's not. It's silly.
No, it's so
silly.
It weakened the relationship.
Yeah.
And if he's there, you know, yes, you can have it be sunset. Like maybe he didn't get there when she thought he was going to get there, but just when she's about to lose hope,
right,
she turns around and maybe he's still bloodied and battered and limping, and you see that he didn't let anything stop him
from getting
to her. And that's where it ends.
Right.
I'm totally fine with that. We don't need to see where they move on to in their lives. We just need to see that they've gotten together.
And it's good. They're all fine.
The gorge has been destroyed.
Right.
The bad guy's been taken out.
Right.
We're good.
Happy days.
Hated
that
last scene.
Not good. It's not good. Final thoughts. The Gorge, I think, had incredible potential.
Yes, I really liked it.
Visually,
it was entertaining.
Yes, visually, it's just a great concept. It was daring. I really enjoyed it. But emotionally, it didn't click because they didn't set the order because they made 2 films. Tighten up those storylines by putting them in peril quicker. They fall in love in the Gorge. Have some characters have a little bit more depth there. And just rebalance it. I think with that little rebalancing, this could have been a real cult classic, a true cult classic. I think
absolutely.
That would totally endure. Instead, I think it's just kind of fade away.
It's just gonna be an okay movie.
It's just gonna be an okay movie that people go, oh, did you see that one? Oh, I didn't catch that. You know, that kind of a thing. But that's our fixes. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you got any comments, please comment. We're on a lot of different streaming platforms right now. We're 6 or 7, 8 different podcast platforms at this point, and so we're kind of all over the place right now. So I hope you enjoy it. Leave some comments. If you didn't agree, that's okay. We totally welcome that. That's totally, that's wonderful.
There's a lot of ways to fix a movie.
A lot of ways to fix a movie. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.